Gentlemen, Austin with you, back with you on MGTOW Money. Today's topic, secrets to your first $100,000. Before we get to that, thanks to the ongoing support from the Patreon investors in this channel. Welcome Deepu, the newest member of Patreon supporters of this channel. Men, thank you for the respect you're showing me, as well as those men that bought me a cup of coffee via PayPal, Bitcoin on the last video. Men, see the video description today. Become a supporter of this channel. Before I get into today's topic, I also briefly want to mention a MGTOW book. I don't think I've ever recommended a MGTOW book, but this particular one is called MGTOW Musings by Happy Humble Hermit, which is a transcript of evidently some videos he did. He is a young man, evidently in his early 20s, based upon this book. See the video description today. Pick up that fine little book by Happy Humble Hermit. All right, men, how are you going to make your first $100,000? You want to feel like a superhero, men? Okay, this is what you're going to do. Because as soon as you hit your first $100,000, you're going to feel like that guy in the movie. Remember Limitless, where the guy basically felt like he had unlimited powers just by taking this little pill? That's going to be you. Once you get to that six figures, it is going to dramatically, I can tell you, change your mindset. It is going to change your psychology. Because remember, it's going to be really easy to go from $100,000 to $200,000. It's going to be a lot easier, as you're going to discover, than go from 10 to 20 just based upon, oh, that's right, compounding. And by the way, I'm going to include a link in the video description today to an article that specifically also lays out some ideas on how men can accumulate, how they can get a net worth of $100,000 before age 30. And this is written by a young man, and I think you might find a lot of the ideas very similar to what I've talked about over the past 180 videos. Specifically, men, of course, you're going to start to need to save money. And specifically, you're going to take your savings and you're going to put it into investing. And taking that more importantly, for newbie investors, for men that haven't invested before or don't have a lot of experience investing and probably got no education from their parents in school about it, I've got 3 specific actions for you that's going to move you to your first $100,000. Before I get into that, a quick word from our sponsor. You want to own your own business, men? I know a lot of you say, I want to own my own business. Okay, you've got 2 choices. You can either A, start a business, or B, you can buy a business. Here, let me give you another idea. How about buying a part of a business? Or I'll give you another idea. How about I can tell you a way that you can get a part of a business for nothing, for free. Specifically, what I'm talking about is you can be a part owner in a business by opening an account with Webull. Yes, they're a stock brokerage firm. Yes, this only applies to Americans. But if you go to Webull and you open an account with Webull, which, oh, that's right, cost nothing, that you can do while sitting on your can, you can get a free share of stock, which makes you a partial business owner of one of hundreds of different businesses and thousands of corporations in the United States. So, for example, maybe you'll get a share of Sprint Corporation. Yeah, you heard of them, the telecom company. Or how about you'll get a share of stock of NVIDIA like I did, or Snapchat, or Zynga. These can be your gateway to learning about how investing works and how the public markets work and what exactly is a stock and what do they mean by earnings per share and what are they talking about dividends and how does this whole thing work? Again, men, I highly recommend go grab your free share of stock from Webull.com. Furthermore, you can grab a second share of stock from Webull by throwing in $100 if you choose to on the back end. You can put $100 in. They'll give you another free share of stock for nothing and take back your $100. Net, you've ended up with 2 shares of stock. Go to the link in video description today. Become a member of Webull. Back on topic. Action 1 that you need to keep in mind, especially as a young investor. This is your Achilles heel. This is going to be your main point of vulnerability. This applies to most investors, but especially to young investors. That is, you've got to have patience. You've got to literally put your money away, put your investment away and forget about it. I can't be any more specific than that. This is really difficult. I know. I speak from personal experience. Especially again, when I was in my 20s, go back and listen to some of my earlier videos. For example, where I talked about on one transaction where I lost over $50,000 on one specific stock transaction. This was due to, unfortunately, my impatience as a young investor. So whether you're thinking about stocks, whether you're thinking about precious metals, whether you're thinking about cryptos, etc., the point is that you are going to have to be patient. You are going to have to, frankly, hold this potentially for years. Yeah, you heard me, men. Years. I can't be any more clear than that. That is going to be the best way. That is going to have the highest odds, no guarantees, the highest odds that your investment ultimately is going to play out. 2, this ties into patience. Listen to me carefully. Stop watching the news. Stop watching YouTube videos, etc., about your specific investment, especially if you're not day trading them. So, in other words, if you're invested in Bitcoin, stop following all the news about Bitcoin. Delete those apps that have all the cryptocurrency quotes, etc., that you're hovering around minute by minute. That stuff is going to kill you. If you want to generate a tremendous amount of heartburn and stress on your life, again, speaking from my own personal experience, keep doing it. And I virtually guarantee you, you are going to lose a lot of money. You want to get away from following the markets. And again, in particular, those specific investments that you're involved in so very, very closely. I guarantee you that if there's some tremendous run up in the value, whether it be a run up or a run down in the value, you'll hear about it. You don't need to monitor this 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Action item 3, don't be afraid to take a profit. Speaking of big run-ups, when you do have a big run-up in whatever it is, I don't care if you're speculating in baseball cards or fine wine or whatever it might be. Whenever you have a big run-up, and I'm going to find it a big run-up as anything being, let's say, above 50%. So in other words, I bought it at $1, now it's worth $1.50. I bought it at $1,000, now it's worth $1,500. After you've had a 50% increase in the value of whatever your investment is, start seriously considering, maybe I need to take some money off the table. Maybe I need to take it all off the table. Maybe I need to sell out of this and regroup and take my profit. Just like gold had a tremendous run up in 2008 to 2011, it basically doubled. Silver basically went up 400%. Of course, Bitcoin peaked out in late 2017 after having a tremendous run up in 2017. Those men would have been very prudent who took a profit when they did. You can do this. Let me give you 3 takeaways here to finish, men. Whatever you buy, you've got to have patience. It does not guarantee the success of your investments. You can still lose all your money. It can still go to zero, but at least you can swing the odds in your favor. It'll make it a little bit more likely that you will ultimately do very, very well. Furthermore, ignore all the noise around you, all the daily noise about, it went up 2%, it went down 3%, whatever. Stop checking about your specific investments. I know this is something I specifically have adopted some years ago. I'm invested in various different things. I try to ignore those specific investments that I'm in. If I own a particular stock, ABC company, I make sure I don't ever check to see what ABC stock price is doing unless I'm literally thinking about selling it or doing something else with it. The point is that I'm in for the long haul. And if it goes to zero, if it goes to zero. And if it doubles, great. And hopefully I'll hear about it. And therefore, again, I won't be afraid to, going to that point 3, take a profit. Again, when you have that big run up, when you have that big gain, you start thinking about, maybe I should start taking a little money off the table. Maybe if this thing goes down 10 or 15%, I'll go ahead, I'll take my profit, I'll take my 35%. If it goes up 50%, goes down 15, okay, I'll take a 35% profit and I'll get back in at a later point. You get the idea, men. You can get your first $100,000 by doing 2 simple things. 1, start saving. 2, start investing with the action items that I specifically recommended right here and now. Gentlemen, as always, I hope you found this profitable. Hit the like button if you did. John Galt out.